Hi everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is a quick, fast-paced Vinyasa flow that you can do daily to build strength and flexibility and ground yourself ready for the day ahead. So let's start standing at the top of the mat in mountain pose. We're going to tuck the pelvis, straighten the spine, roll the shoulders a few times and come into the moment. Palms are facing forward, and maybe go ahead and twist the wrists a few times in each direction, warming up the body. And again, roll through the shoulders, just warming up the muscles before we begin the flow. Change direction and take any other movement or warm up that you feel your body needs in this moment. Now let's go ahead and we're just going to bend the knees slightly and come into a chair position. Tuck the pelvis and bring the weight into the heels, and we're going to do some standing cat-cows. So rolling through the spine, arching the back before pushing the chest forward, and move through this movement a few times. Inhaling and exhaling with the movement. Perfect. Come back to standing, and we're going to go ahead and come into a chair pose. Again, the weight is in the heels, tuck the pelvis, straighten the spine. Set your gaze up towards the hands at the top of the mat. Take a lovely deep inhale, and we're going to go ahead and step the right foot back, and the foot will come to a 45-degree angle, coming into Warrior One. The front leg is bent and the hips are pointed forward, back is straight, and raise the hands overhead and settle in to Warrior One. Take a lovely deep breath. Exhale, let's pivot on the back foot and come into Warrior Two. Hands are in a T position, front leg is still bent. Take a lovely deep inhale, we're going to straighten the front leg and come into a reverse triangle. Lean back towards the back of the mat. Exhale. Inhale, let's go for triangle. So the legs are straight. We're going to lean forward and bring the left hand down towards the left foot, ankle or shin, and the right hand is raised overhead. Inhale. Cartwheel the hands down, plant the hands on the mat. Come into a low lunge before stepping that left foot back. Find your high plank, hold for a second, and then move through your chaturanga or drop to the knees to come down onto the belly and come into either upward facing dog or baby cobra. And then push up through your high plank into downward facing dog. Take a lovely deep breath here. Inhale and exhale, and slowly find your way towards the top of the mat, either walk or jump. And we're going to come into a halfway lift. Back is straight, forward fold, and on an inhale, let's raise the hands overhead and come back to standing at the top of the mat. Lovely. Inhale, raise the hands overhead, and we're going to come into our chair pose. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 before stepping back. The back foot comes to a 45-degree angle, front leg is bent, hips are pointed forward, and hands are raised overhead, coming into Warrior One. Inhale. Exhale, pivot on the back foot, coming into Warrior Two. On your next inhale, straighten the front leg and let's go reverse triangle, leaning back towards the back of the mat. Inhale, come forward, lean towards the top of the mat before bringing the right hand down towards the right foot, ankle or shin, and raising that left hand overhead. Let's cartwheel the hands down, come into a low lunge, before stepping that right foot back, coming into our high plank, before moving through chaturanga, or move through to come down to the belly, baby cobra, and push up back to our downward facing dog. Lovely, take a lovely deep inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, let's slowly walk to the top of the mat, finding our halfway lift. Back is straight and head is lifted before folding forward into a forward fold. Inhale, raise the hands overhead, straighten the legs and come back to standing at the top of the mat. Lovely. On your next inhale, raise the hands overhead, come down to your forward fold, step one foot back and the other, finding your downward dog. On an inhale, let's raise the right leg up towards the ceiling, coming into three-legged dog, before moving through, bringing that right foot to the top of the mat, finding a low lunge. Lovely. Inhale, raise the hands overhead, coming into a high lunge. Finding your balance and building strength. Let's push up with the legs and come into warrior two. Hands are in a T position. Set the gaze over the front hands. Lovely. Cartwheel the hands back down. Plant both palms on the mat and we're going to come into warrior three. So the back leg is lifted. Try to keep the hips square. Find your balance and either keep the hands planted on the mat or you can go ahead and bring them to a prayer position at the heart center. A micro bend in the leg may help with the balance here, and again keep the hips square. Let's plant the palms and step that left foot back into our high lunge before planting the palms and coming back through a high plank and then chaturanga to the mat, push up to upward facing dog before pushing through to come into downward dog. Inhale and exhale. Let's lift the left leg up towards the ceiling. Three-legged dog before moving through and planting that left foot in between the palms at the top of the mat. Raise the hands overhead, coming into a high lunge. Inhale, push up with the legs, coming into warrior two. Inhale and exhale, building strength here. Cartwheel the hands down. Frame the foot with the hands on the mat and use the stability here to push up into your warrior three, bringing that right leg up towards the ceiling, balancing on the left leg, maybe finding a prayer position with the hands before planting them, coming back to our high lunge. Lovely. Plant the palms on the mat, step back into your high plank before moving through chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Lovely. Take a lovely deep inhale here. And exhale. Walk towards the top of the mat, coming into a halfway lift before folding forward. On an inhale, raise the hands overhead, palms come to touch, and come back to standing at the top of the mat before moving into a position that feels comfortable for you. We're going to try for our balancing poses now. Using the right leg first, let's find tree position. So the foot can come to the shin, the inner thigh, wherever feels comfortable for you. And the hands can either come to a T position, if that helps your balance, or go ahead and raise the hands overhead, bringing the palms to touch. And find your balance. Building strength through the core and through the legs here. And then we're going to move on through to eagle pose. So we're going to cross the right leg over the left leg and round. Again with the arms, wrap the right arm around the left arm before releasing. Lovely. Take a lovely deep inhale before moving on to the next leg. So we're going to take that left foot and bring it either to the right shin or the right inner thigh, and bring the hands either to a T position or raised above the head. On your next exhale, let's lower the hands and find eagle position on the opposite leg, wrapping that left leg around the right and the left arm around the right arm. Lovely. Inhale and exhale, release. Come to standing. Take a lovely deep inhale. Take any other movement you feel your body needs in this moment before coming to find a seated position that feels good for you. I'm going to come into a seated cross-legged position. And go ahead and take some nurturing deep breaths here. And next we're going to go for a butterfly pose. So sitting on the mat, knees are spread wide, opening up through the hips. The heels are going to come in towards the pelvis as close as you can. Wrapping the index finger and the middle finger around the big toes for the grip, and use the elbows on the legs to make it that little bit easier to push the stance wider. The aim here is to widen the hips, release any tension you're holding, maybe lean forward for that extra stretch. Take a lovely deep inhale before coming back to lie on the mat. Lovely. We're going to bring the feet as close to the glutes as possible. The arms will be flat on the mat by the sides, and we're going to push up into a bridge. Push up with the hips. Maybe adjust the shoulder blades to make yourself more comfortable. And we're going to try pushing the hips up towards the ceiling and back towards the top end of the mat. Squeeze the glutes and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly and gently release, coming back to the mat. Before we come into Shavasana, let's do a quick stretch, bringing the right leg over the left. We're going to thread the needle through between the legs to pull that left leg in towards the chest. A variation of pigeon pose here, just to stretch the legs out after that quick workout we've done. Inhale and exhale, release, and go for the other side. Placing the left leg over the right knee, threading the needle, pulling that leg towards the chest. Maybe flex the feet if you want to push yourself to be that little bit more flexible. Inhale and exhale, release. Last pose of the day, let's go for happy baby. Grabbing the outsides of the feet, opening the legs wide. Take any other movement you feel your body needs here, stretching, opening up the body. On your next exhale, let's stretch the legs out straight on the mat. Let the legs flop open to either side of the mat. And we're going to find Shavasana. Arms are down by the sides with the palms facing up. And take a moment here to find a lovely, deep, healing breath. If you want to, you can pause the video here to have a longer Shavasana. Otherwise, take a lovely deep inhale here before slowly moving on up to a seated position in the middle of the mat in your own time. Hands can come to the knees. Take a lovely inhale. Bring the hands together at the heart center. Bow the head. Take a moment of gratitude here for this practice and all your body can do. Thank you for joining me here today. I really appreciate every single one of you that join me on these videos and comment below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!